Nobody saw it coming. Not her co-stars, not her fans. Not even the producers who claimed they know everything. But behind the scenes of VH1's glitzy chaos, a jaw-dropping secret was growing literally. Erica Mena, the firestarter of Love and Hip Hop, the queen of clapbacks, the center of every storm, was hiding something monumental, a secret pregnancy. And not just any pregnancy, one that VH1 allegedly ordered her to keep quiet. Cameras were rolling. Contracts were tight. But when the truth began to peek through, the network scrambled to bury it deep. Deeper than any betrayal, any fight, any scandal they've aired. Whispers started on set. Why isn't Erica drinking during scenes? Why does she keep asking for breaks? Why is production suddenly cutting her confessional interviews short? It didn't take long before a few crew members started connecting dots. But the moment someone asked the wrong question, boom, they were gone. Reassigned, muzzled. The network wasn't taking any chances. Because this pregnancy, it wasn't just inconvenient. It was dangerous to their brand, to their narrative, and to secrets no one thought would surface. Sources close to production say Mona Scott herself stepped in, demanding rewrites and last-minute scene removals. We're not telling that story, she allegedly snapped in a heated call. And just like that, any footage of Erica's suspected baby bump mysteriously vanished. But not before one scene made it past the editors. A single second that fans caught, and then everything changed. Now, as new rumors explode online, Erica's own silence is speaking louder than words. Is she protecting someone? Was she forced to choose between her child and her career? And most shockingly, whose baby is it? Grab your popcorn, because what you're about to hear will have you questioning everything you thought you knew about reality TV. This isn't just a hidden pregnancy. This is the cover-up VH1 prayed you'd never uncover. Stay tuned, because the drama is just beginning. It all started with a change subtle, nearly invisible to the untrained eye, but unmistakable to those who knew Erica Mena like family. On the surface, she was the same fiery presence VH1 viewers had come to expect, bold, unfiltered, and always ready with a snatched comeback. But behind the scenes, crew members began whispering. Erica, who had never backed down from a party, was suddenly declining her usual glass of champagne during late-night tapings. The camera often caught her resting her hand on her stomach, only for that footage to never make it into the final cut. Lighting crews were quietly instructed to shoot her from certain angles. Editors began using wide shots, zoomed-out frames, and an unusual number of talking head segments that conveniently cropped her torso. To most fans, the changes were unnoticeable. But to the insiders on set, it was clear, something was being hidden, and not just hidden, deliberately erased. The tension off-camera began to rise. Erica's usual dressing room was moved to a more isolated trailer on set. Producers gave excuses, it's closer to the crew exit, or we're rotating space this season, but longtime cast and crew knew better. Whenever someone got too close or asked too many questions, Erica would offer a tight smile, say, "I'm just tired," and disappear behind closed doors. Rumors snowballed. First, people whispered about a possible illness. Then, the conversation shifted. What if Erica was pregnant, and VH1 didn't want the world to know? It was at this point that the story took a turn no one expected. One night, while filming a particularly intense dinner scene in Atlanta, chaos erupted. Erica, Safari, Yandi, and a few others had been gathered at a high-end restaurant for what was supposed to be a scripted argument turned resolution. But when the cameras started rolling, the energy shifted. Erica, visibly irritated, refused to sit at her designated spot. Safari whispered something to her. Her eyes narrowed. Then, right in front of the cameras, she snapped, "You want to pretend like this is normal? Like you didn't say to get rid of it?" The room fell silent. Crew members looked at one another, stunned. The cameras kept rolling, capturing every frame. Safari looked mortified. Yandi's mouth fell open. One producer shouted, "Cut! Cut it now!" But the damage was done. That clip was never supposed to air. And officially, it didn't. But a rough cut leaked just 3 days later. A former intern, fired without warning the same day of the outburst, uploaded the footage to a private Reddit thread. Within hours, it had been screen-recorded, dissected, and reposted across every corner of the internet. Fans lost their minds. What did Erica mean? Was she talking about a baby? Did Safari ask her to get an abortion? Theories exploded. Fan pages posted side-by-side comparisons of Erica's recent Instagram selfies, Her face, fuller clothes, looser, carefully positioned handbags always blocking her midsection. Meanwhile, back at VH1 headquarters, panic set in. Mona Scott-Young, the executive mastermind behind the Love and Hip Hop franchise, held an emergency meeting. Multiple insiders say she paced the room, fuming. "How the hell did this get out? We don't do this kind of storyline unless we control it. This is not how we handle scandal." Immediately, the team went into damage control. The leaked footage was DMCA flagged and scrubbed off platforms. VH1's press team released a vague statement saying, "No such scene exists in our archives," while simultaneously threatening legal action against accounts that shared the clip. But it was too late. The internet had already seen it. The questions kept coming. And Erika? She went dark. For the first time in years, she stopped posting. No cryptic tweets, no TikToks, no sponsored Instagram reels. Nothing. The silence only made things worse. Fans speculated she had gone into hiding. Others claimed she was negotiating with a rival network to break her silence. And a few hardcore sleuths even claimed she had checked into a private maternity retreat in Miami, away from prying eyes and producers with ND. Then, the bombshell dropped. A paparazzi shot blurry but unmistakable surfaced online. Erika, in oversized sweats and sunglasses, walking into a prenatal clinic. Her stomach, though partially hidden, was clearly rounded. Her face was softer, glowing. She wasn't alone. A man walked beside her. But it wasn't Safari, it wasn't even anyone fans recognized. Instantly, speculation kicked into overdrive. Who was the man? A new boyfriend? A hired doula? A bodyguard? Was he the real father? And most importantly, why wasn't VH1 talking about this? As pressure mounted, insiders started leaking. A source close to production spilled to a popular gossip site. Erika found out she was pregnant just before taping started for the new season. She told producers immediately. But they told her to keep it quiet, said it would ruin the narrative they were crafting. They didn't want to write in another baby storyline, especially after everything with Safari. It wasn't in their budget. It wasn't in their plan. Allegedly, Erika was told to act normal on camera and avoid any obvious signs that could spark suspicion. In return, producers promised they'd protect her privacy. But what they really did was erase her entirely. One former field producer claims they started cutting her out of key episodes. Anytime she mentioned feeling sick or needing a break, it was edited out. They wanted the audience to think she was being difficult or unprofessional, when in reality, she was pregnant and exhausted. It was cruel. Another crew member revealed that scenes with Erika and Safari that hinted at baby-related tension were either reshot or shelved. The footage exists, they said, but it's locked behind so many passwords, you'd need Mona's fingerprints to access it. And while Erika's silence continued, a different voice suddenly emerged, her mother's. In a now-deleted Facebook post, Erika's mother wrote cryptically, "My daughter is stronger than anyone knows. Some things don't belong on television. Especially when a woman is going through it alone." That single post was enough to set fan forums ablaze. Was Erika really facing this pregnancy without support? Had her own family turned against the network? The questions were endless, and VH1, they still weren't saying a word. But that silence wouldn't last much longer. Just as fans thought they'd heard it all, another secret bigger than anyone imagined was about to explode, shaking the love and hip-hop world to its core. The chaos that followed was unlike anything VH1 had ever dealt with. Erika's name dominated trending tabs on social media for days. Fans were torn. Some defended her right to privacy. Others demanded transparency from a network built on raw, unscripted emotion. But while the audience argued online, Erika was preparing for a battle much bigger than Twitter wars and gossip threads. She was gearing up to protect herself, her unborn child, and the truth that everyone around her was trying to bury. 2 weeks after the leaked clip, Erika finally broke her silence with a whisper, not a bang. In an Instagram story that disappeared after 24 hours, she posted a photo of a tiny white onesie hanging on a clothesline, backlit by soft sunlight. The caption was brief but powerful. "God's timing is always right." Hashtag protected, hashtag chosen. No mention of a father. No statement to the press. But the internet didn't need words. The photo confirmed what everyone had been speculating. Erika was pregnant and proud. The backlash was immediate. VH1's PR team scrambled to redirect the narrative. They leaked exclusive photos of cast events, pushing other stars into the spotlight to distract fans. They sent out interview invites to Safari, encouraging him to clear the air, but he refused them all. Then, in a desperate move, they offered Erika a private sit-down interview to tell her side, but off the record, without cameras. Erika declined. She wasn't interested in scripted damage control. She wanted the truth out, on her terms. And then came the biggest shock of all. The mysterious man from the prenatal clinic was identified. Not an actor, not a celebrity. His name was Jordan Baines, a former music producer from Miami who had vanished from the public eye years ago after a scandal involving stolen royalties. But now, he was back-end linked to Erika in the most intimate way possible. Paparazzi followed them for days. They were seen shopping for baby supplies, visiting doctor appointments, and even attending a quiet dinner with Erika's sister. The internet exploded again. Was he the baby's father? Had Erika moved on from Safari in secret? That's when Safari finally cracked. In a now-deleted Instagram live session, Safari appeared visibly shaken, pacing shirtless in what looked like his home gym. "Y'all really believe everything you see?" He snapped at the camera. "You think she didn't tell me? You think I didn't know? Don't get it twisted. I found out just like y'all did. And yeah, I was mad. Of course, I was mad. But she made her choice. That ain't my baby. That ain't my responsibility. So stop tagging me in her drama." The live ended abruptly, but not before over 60,000 viewers screen-recorded it. Fans were stunned. Did Safari just admit he had no clue Erika was pregnant until after the leak? Or was he lying to save face? Either way, his words lit a new fire. Under the story, Erika's supporters came out in full force. "That ain't my responsibility." Tweets flew. "Isn't that the same man who cried over child support payments last season? You mean the guy who begged Erika to take him back after cheating scandals?" Safari became public enemy number one overnight. But if people thought the drama had peaked, they were dead wrong. A former VH1 intern, now operating under an anonymous burner account on X, formerly Twitter, began posting what they claimed were internal memos from the production team. One memo in particular sent shockwaves through the fandom. Dated 6 months before the current season aired. It read, "If Ms. Mena continues pregnancy, revise shooting schedule to limit her on-screen time. Shift storyline to focus on Carly, Yandi and newcomer drama. Avoid direct mentions of medical accommodations. Maintain control of public narrative." That same account posted a second memo, even more damning. "Consider alternate cast focus if Erika refuses storyline adjustments. Mona wants final cut approval if pregnancy arc emerges. Avoid liability." The implications were clear. VH1 knew. They knew everything. And instead of embracing the reality of Erika's journey as they'd done with so many other pregnancy storylines in the past, they tried to erase her. At this point, the audience turned. Not just against but against VH1. Petitions were launched, demanding Erika be given her own special episode to tell her story. Fans threatened to boycott the franchise. The hashtag Justice for Erika trended worldwide. And through it all, Erika remained calm, composed, and silent, until the reunion taping. What was supposed to be a typical love and hip-hop reunion tears, dramatic walk-offs quickly turned into something else. Erika arrived last, wearing a flowing emerald dress that draped beautifully over her no very visible baby bump. The entire audience gasped. Mona Scott, seated front and center as usual, kept her smile frozen. Safari fidgeted in his seat. Yandi leaned forward, eyes wide. The tension was thick enough to slice with a knife. When it was Erika's turn to speak, the room fell silent. "You know what's funny?" she began, her voice steady. "Y'all been trying to make me out like I'm crazy, like I'm unstable. But the truth is, I've been protecting something precious. Not just a baby, but my peace. And guess what? Neither of you," she said, motioning between Safari and Mona, "get to control this narrative anymore." Mona tried to jump in, but Erika raised her hand. "No, let me finish. You built an empire off our pain, our breakups, our trauma. And I signed up for it because I thought I had control. But when I told y'all I was pregnant, you didn't celebrate me. You panicked. You said it didn't fit the storyline. You said I had to make a choice. Well, I made one. I chose my baby. I chose me." The audience erupted in applause. Mona stayed stone-faced, lips pressed together. Safari shifted in his seat, but said nothing. Erika took a breath. "I don't care who doesn't want to work with me after this. I don't care what scenes get cut, the truth is already out. And y'all can't bury it this time. The segment was cut from the final broadcast, but leaked behind the scenes. Footage once again surfaced days later, confirming everything. Fans wept. Some cheered. Others demanded a full series reboot starring Erica. But the most surprising reaction came from VH1 itself. In a rare move, the network released a carefully worded statement. We respect the personal journeys of all our cast members and remain committed to telling stories with honesty and care. Recent events have sparked reflection within our team, and we are reviewing our production policies moving forward. It was a non-apology, clearly designed to dodge legal backlash. But to Erica's fans, it was an admission of guilt. The woman they had watched for years, raw, fierce, vulnerable, had been silenced, erased, and still, she stood tall. But the story wasn't over yet. Because as Erica's pregnancy neared its final weeks, whispers began swirling again. About why VH1 had been so desperate to cover it up in the first place. About who else might have known. And about the one phone call that could expose everything. The whispers didn't die down, they grew louder. Just when it seemed like Erica had taken back her power and silenced the doubters, a new layer to the scandal began to surface, one that shook even her most loyal fans. Because as people applauded her bravery and condemned VH1's actions, another question began echoing through gossip columns and online blogs alike. Why was the network so desperate to silence this pregnancy? Was it just about controlling the narrative, or was there something deeper, darker, more damaging they were trying to protect? That answer started unraveling when a former Love and Hip Hop segment editor, under an alias, contacted a rising celebrity podcast host with receipts. In a bombshell episode, the editor detailed what they called an entire storyline arc that was filmed, reviewed, and then completely scrapped. According to them, Erica's pregnancy wasn't just an offhanded conflict. It had been fully explored in early episodes. There were scenes of Erica confiding in her closest friend Santana. There was a late-night phone call where she confronted Safari in tears. There were even clips of Mona herself coaching Erica through how to present the news. All of that got deleted, like full-on wiped. The editor claimed, "I've never seen anything like it." One day it was on the master reel. Next day, when I asked about it, I was told, "Let it go. Focus on Carly and Spice this season." It wasn't just a cover-up. It was censorship. This podcast exploded overnight. The clip was shared by major gossip pages and even caught the attention of mainstream news outlets. And the question changed. No longer just why hide the pregnancy. Now it was, what were they afraid would come out with the pregnancy? That's when the real plot twist landed, one nobody was prepared for. Jordan Baines, the mystery man seen with Erica and long suspected to be the baby's father, finally spoke out. In an exclusive video interview with a shady but increasingly credible YouTube journalist, Jordan dropped a bombshell that turned the entire VH1 cover-up theory upside down. "I was asked to disappear," Jordan said flatly. "They didn't want me seen with her when they found out I was in the picture. I was approached by someone from production who offered me money to take a step back until filming was done. Not a contract, not paperwork, just an envelope of cash and a message. This isn't your story." The journalist's jaw dropped. "They tried to pay you off." "They did," Jordan confirmed, "because they knew the baby wasn't Safari's, and if it wasn't his, it was going to destroy the plotlines they'd already filmed for the season." Erica had told them about the pregnancy in confidence, and they tried to shape her into the villain if she didn't play along. When she wouldn't, they made her disappear instead. The clip went viral. Erica didn't comment, but she didn't need to. The fans had seen enough. They now believed what Erica had tried to say in her own way all along. This wasn't just a personal cover-up. This was a full-on network operation to erase a storyline they couldn't manipulate. But the story wasn't done twisting, because right in the middle of this chaos, another name entered the chat, one that had fans gasping. Rich DeLaz. Yes, that Rich DeLaz, Erica's ex, her once lover, now frenemy, who had previously faded into the background of Love and Hip Hop drama, but suddenly, screenshots surfaced of text messages between Rich and Erica dated before her pregnancy announcement. One message read, "You sure it ain't mine? We were still messing around then." Fans lost their minds. Wait, WHAT, was Rich part of this too? Is there any man on this show who's not tangled in this mess? Theories spun wildly. Was Jordan a decoy? Was the real baby father Rich all along? Had VH1 silenced the storyline not just to avoid chaos but because it involved too many past and present cast members in one scandalous situation? Rich, of course, denied everything. He posted a black and white selfie on Instagram with the caption, "Don't believe the hype. Old messages don't tell new stories," but fans weren't buying it. Especially when Sin Santana posted a now-deleted tweet saying, "I told y'all, these men weren't built for real women," and just like that, the floodgates reopened. Former castmates began chiming in, hinting at the toxic environment behind the scenes. Kim Bella tweeted, "They do this to all of us. Make us sign away our voice. Then blame us when we snap on camera." Even Cardi B, who famously got her start on the franchise, liked several tweets criticizing VH1's treatment of female stars, especially those who become mothers. Meanwhile, Erika remained oddly at peace. Paparazzi caught glimpses of her entering a yoga studio, laughing with Jordan at a smoothie bar, strolling through a park with her growing bump. It was the calm in the eye of a hurricane, and fans knew something was coming. Then, just as the season finale was airing, Erika announced a surprise. She would be doing a tell-all sit-down interview on her own YouTube channel, scheduled to stream live the same night as VH1's reunion episode. Fans were stunned. VH1 was furious, but the announcement couldn't be stopped. And when the night came, over 400,000 people tuned in live. Erika appeared, glowing in a fitted white gown, seated on a minimalist couch with nothing but a vase of white roses behind her. "Thank you all for being here," she began softly. "This isn't easy, but it's necessary." And for the next 45 minutes, she laid everything bare. She spoke of being pressured to keep silent, of crying in her trailer while producers debated how to write her off, of Safari begging her to terminate the pregnancy when he found out, of Jordan being followed by VH1's security team and threatened with a restraining order if he showed up at tapings, of Rich texting her randomly, claiming to want a DNA test just in case. She ended with this, "I won't apologize for protecting my peace. I won't apologize for choosing motherhood over a storyline. And I definitely won't apologize for exposing the truth. VH1 didn't just try to erase my pregnancy. They tried to erase me, but guess what? I'm still here." Tears streamed down fans' faces in the comment section. Emojis flooded the chat. The hashtags #ErikaUncut and #WeBelieveErika trended worldwide. Even verified celebrities began posting their support. But even that wasn't the final twist. Because the next morning, Erika posted a single screenshot to her Instagram story and email from VH1's legal department. The subject line read, "Immediate cease and desist, breach of NDA," and below, in bold, "You are ordered to remove the YouTube video within 24 hours or face legal action." She captioned it, "So now y'all wanna play legal? Let's play." It was a declaration, a warning, and a promise that Erika Mena was far from done. The war was no longer just about a hidden pregnancy. It was about reclaiming a voice that reality television tried to strip away. But with legal threats flying, fan theories evolving, and even other cast members starting to speak out, there was still one final revelation waiting in the shadows. One that would expose not just the producers, but the very foundation of the franchise itself. The internet was on fire. Erika's YouTube tell-all had eclipsed the reunion ratings in real time. A humiliating blow to VH1. Fans didn't just watch, they devoured every word. It wasn't just a video, it was a revolution. And as Erika posted the cease and desist email from the network the next morning, she made one thing clear. She wasn't backing down. Not this time. If they wanted war, they were going to get one, because this wasn't just about a hidden pregnancy anymore. This was about a pattern. A legacy of silence, and one woman finally breaking it. The very next day, the dominoes began to fall. Former love and hip-hop stars, some long forgotten, suddenly returned to the conversation. Chrissy Lampkin posted a cryptic video on Instagram. Funny how the ones who stay quiet the longest have the biggest stories to tell. Hazily went live from a hotel room in Miami and said outright, "Erika ain't lying. They did the same thing to me when I got pregnant. Told me to save it for next season. Next thing I knew, my scenes were gone and my contract was up." Even Tara Mari chimed in with a now viral tweet. "We been new. Y'all just late." The floodgates had opened. Everyone was talking, even producers from other reality shows. Basketball Wives, Black Ink crew started quietly deeming popular bloggers to share what they knew. What emerged wasn't just a story about Erika. It was a portrait of a System 1 that profited from chaos, but couldn't handle the truth when it didn't fit the script. And now that system was crumbling. Then came the twist no one saw coming. A leak from inside Mona Scott Young's own production company, Mon Ami Entertainment. A junior staffer fed up an anonymous sent files to several major gossip outlets, among them, an internal report titled Pregnancy Conflict, Containment Strategy. The document outlined detailed talking points, backup narratives, and even potential redirect storylines that could be used if Erika's pregnancy couldn't be fully cut from the season. One section in bold red font read, "If storyline exposure is unavoidable, frame narrative as Erika hiding baby out of guilt, shame. Position Safari sympathetically. Emphasize chaos to distract.